if you are just now hopping on, we're talking about Super Saturday. Obviously, there's a major weather event happening this week. I have snow at my house already. Um, so can I just give you guys this advice? Like, first, I hope you're registered for Super Saturday. I will say, except that I told Christy Salcido not to because she's coming to a Super Saturday retreat. But if you're going to be watching it from home, then you need to be registered. But two, if you're going to be by yourself, I, I'm just telling you from experience. Ask your sponsor or a team member or someone, even better if it's a group of you guys, to get into either a text thread or FaceTime each other or do something so that you're kind of watching it with someone, because otherwise you're watching it while your kids are coming in and out, you're half distracted, and then it feels like a really heavy burden to just kind of be randomly online watching something for a couple hours. I think there's so much to be said for even having a text thread going, giving feedback, being like, okay, did you see this? Did you hear this announcement? Okay, I loved that speaker, whatever. It fosters the community that's so important. However, we know that there's bad weather coming. I mean, Andrea, what's the current Dallas plans right now?
So right now, so it's what's hard is that like right now it's beautiful, but it's free. I mean, it's literally feels like 12 degrees. So it's really cold here. But on Wednesday now they're saying the weather's supposed to come in bad or snow Wednesday night, all day Thursday with snow showers, which the difference like where Becky is where it's snowing is the roads are probably clear. It's just snows everywhere. In Dallas, for some reason it ices so that roads get ice. So we are I mean, we really won't know. I mean, that's the problem, Kristen, right? Like we really won't know until like Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Thursday night. Like it's almost like a play by play. And so right now, corporate, I just was on a thread. Right now, corporate thinks that they are coming, like everything's still a go. But I think corporate's having to move their flights even earlier because events and stuff will all set up and be here on Wednesday. But executives weren't planning on coming in until Thursday. And all the rehearsals and stuff were supposed to start Thursday. And if it's going to start snowing Wednesday night, Thursday morning, everybody needs to come in earlier. I know at least one of our friends, Melissa Eichenhorst, who's speaking, isn't coming in until Thursday night flying in. And I literally told her yesterday, I was like, that's gonna be a problem. There's no way your flight from Houston to Dallas is gonna have the uninterrupted coming in Thursday night. She's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure." I mean, we live in Texas, so I think no matter what, there will be an event. Whether corporate made the call that we're no longer doing a party up in Anna, which is an hour away from where it's going to be. So it was already like a big distance. So that and small roads back up there, but the event of Super Saturday is going to happen. I want to encourage you even one step further from the text thread that Becky was talking about is if you can be on a Zoom or like on a group FaceTime and you can actually Beck and I think we were on a chat last year. We were like on a text chat or we were on a couple of them. And sometimes people can actually go kind of negative or kind of get snarky, especially if you're like by yourself. And it's so much easier to actually like be excited and like um kind of like forward thinking when you're like kind of hearing each other talk. You're hearing yourself talk. So I really want to yeah, coming in from Marshall is going to be I mean that's a truck across, like be honest. So I just think that if you can get face time with people during Super Saturday, it will help so much. Okay, everyone tell us in the chat where you are currently right this minute planning on doing Super Saturday from. I think Christy, Angie, and Becky are all going to be in Florida. Stephanie, I think you're doing it by yourself where you are. Wes is crossing my fingers going to be here. Yeah, she literally did cross her fingers in the chat. Tina Marie's gonna be in Florida. Rhonda, are you going to the big one that is going on in Pennsylvania? I know Brianne Coolidge is doing a big one up there. Um, I love that we're splitting between Dallas, which will be a snowstorm, and Florida. Did you have something, Tina Marie? I think she was just talking. Okay, I'm double checking because Becky said Christy shouldn't register, but I want to make sure that even if you're watching with other people, even if one person has a registration, has the link, that there's not like a code or something that you're going to miss out on if you're not registered. So I am going to check on that for prizes. Okay, so I sent that in. Okay. um, okay, Rhonda's saying put. It looks like we're split 50-50 Dallas and Florida in this group, and then a couple of people that are just going to be from home because that's, where it is. Okay, let's get started with all of the things that are happening right now. And I just want to start in like an easy spot. Have you posted about your reset today? If you are resetting, have you posted about your reset? But have you done it in at least on Facebook post and on an Instagram story? I think a lot of us can get real comfortable in our Instagram stories of just like a picture and a real quick caption, but have you posted in the other place? And if you've done both of those, have you posted about why reset is important in your Instagram feed? So I want to give you 3 options. Story if you haven't done a story yet, feed on Facebook and or Instagram if you haven't done the other one. Talk about reset today. And even if you're not resetting today, but you're going to be resetting or you're waiting for your reset or this is the reason why I just did a reset or I'm doing one at the end of my 25 hard, whatever it is. I'm going to mute for about 2 minutes and let you just make sure you get a reset post up and then we'll get started on the rest of our call. Okay. Anyone need just a minute more time? Okay, go, Christy. Go. 1 more minute. Okay, I'm starting to see eyeballs, so we're gonna move ahead. The first thing I want to do is really talk about 25 hard. Who is actually participating in 25 hard? Okay, Beck's participating, Christy, Kristen, anybody else actually participating, Sarah, in 25 hard. And what this is, if you don't know, or if you feel like you've been in, holiday and family and first year and all those, okay, Stephanie's doing it. Is it is we're going to do a reset this week. So you pick your day. Is it today, tomorrow, and Wednesday? Is it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? I have a feeling if you're traveling for Super Saturday, you probably are doing it at the beginning of this week instead of towards the end, because it's gonna be really hard to reset in a house of food, which I think we'll all be in houses with food everywhere. So I really want to challenge you to do your reset this week, and then honestly, kind of like start to lean into your 25 hard. That's 25 grams of protein, like getting your walking in, like just kind of like, I think it's easy if you kind of go from a reset and kind of ease into your 25 hard. And then like next week, as it's actually like starting, you don't feel like you're cold turkeying or, going straight into like the fire. Like you're already doing the things.
But
Um,
also, let's say this too, because like we're getting people are hearing back about, okay, we guys, corporate did not expect for us to run a 25 hard group with over 6,000 members. So there were lots of orders for reset, which is awesome. Yay, yay, yay. But that means that a few people's are going to be delayed a few days. So here's the deal. If you're not resetting today, or your person in 25 hard is not resetting today, it's absolutely okay. Like you're going to help them come back along in a few weeks or in a few days and do it then. So don't let that part, like some of y'all are black and white and you're like, if I'm not resetting today, can I be involved in 25 hard? Yes, you can. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
No, I think it's important to know. I think that's like, I hope that for the next like 15 or 45 minutes that we all just like jump in and ask a question. Like if something feels like, I don't know what you're talking about, or wait, pause, like let's back up 3 steps. Like that is really, really important. And this is why we are resetting and mastering January, because I want to make sure that you walk off this call and that you're like, I got it going into the next week, especially going into Super Saturday, that we're actually going to kind of precursor a lot of the stuff today so that when you go into next weekend, you are set and ready to go. So one of the things is, this is nothing about 25 hard is black and white. Everything about 25 hard is getting something done. If all you get done for the next 3 weeks is you've increased your protein by 20 grams a day, great. If all you have done is taken 5 more walks than you would have taken, previously, great. I really do think the goal is 25. It's doing all of the things on the list. But if you miss something, it is not the end of the world. You're not out of the contest. You can still win. Like you're still like, even if you do a 1% more than what you were doing 2 weeks ago, you're improving. If anybody has started ever a resolution, but like I'm thinking like Bible reading at the beginning of the year, and all of a sudden you get to like, what's today, day 6, and you're like, oh, I haven't done it. Or I was planning on doing it every single morning, the very first thing. And when I didn't do it very first thing this morning, now the whole thing is thrown out. And it's like, no, just do like, Beck and I are doing, book chapters. So it's easy to go today's chapter 6. It's the 6th. That's the chapter 6. I need to read chapter 5 and 6 today, because I didn't get to 5 yesterday or whatever. Like, please give yourself miles of grace and make sure that you're giving your team members, your new VIPs, the people that are coming in and doing this, the same grace. Like, oh, you had to eat a hard-boiled egg and a breast of chicken today on your reset. Great. You just increased your protein more than you did yesterday, but you're still getting all of the goodness of reset in. So it's okay. Does anyone in here feel like you either have to follow everything to the T, or it like didn't work? Like it does. Okay. Yeah. Beck and I are pretty gray. I know Angie's gray. Like it's so much better, and there's so much more joy in doing this. And there's more success really when you can find the little successes than, yeah, Christy's black and white. I can totally see that. And I just think it's important that you go, okay, where am I just getting 10% better today? Where am I going into 2025, like starting out 2025, like 10% better, 1% better than I started 2024. Like, I think it's growth. And then being able to like capitalize on that growth over the course of the year. Like if every month you just get a little bit better, like I'm adding 25 grams of protein a day now, and next month I'm going to add 30 grams of protein. I was just having a conversation with my 16-year-old about how much protein he needs to be eating a day. Like it's just an important conversation to have. And then when you're having it with yourself, you tend to have it with other people really easily. Um, Okay, so the first thing I want to cover actually is 25 hard, just because I think it's important. Is everyone in here in the group 25 hard? Angie Zumwalt, I saw you join this morning. I know you are in. I saw your name come across. So and let's just say, like, if you're like, oh, I'm just now kind of getting my head around it. Great. This is the perfect day to get your head around it. It's the first perfect day to jump in. So I want to make sure every single person is in here, and I want you to go in right now. We're going to spend 3 minutes doing this. I want you to make sure 5 people on your team, the last 5 people you've added to your team personally, and or 5 people that you're currently working with, talking to, working through their products, that they are in the group. So you either need to invite them or you need to re-invite them and send them a link to the group to make sure that they've accepted the invitation. 5 people, put your names in the chat when you're done. It's just the first name of 5 people that you are made sure in there or have sent them an invitation to re-invite them. See y'all in 3 minutes. Okay, I had to go to my actual back office and sort by join date and make sure I was like going like person by person that I wasn't missing anybody. So I really want to encourage you if you don't have 5 people um active in 25 hard, go add more people. Go invite. You should have at least 5 personal customers and or level ones actively doing 25 hard, like expecting to do a reset either now or when they get it, expecting to start the actual like 25 hard like stuff. You should be talking to them about this. This is the greatest thing about this. I thought about this morning. If you've been here for, let's say, 3 years or more, which I think is pretty much everybody on this call, there is a chance that you have gotten tired of sharing the word triplex. There's a good chance that you don't know how else to explain what blood sugar does to your body. There is a good chance that you are like, I've talked blood sugar, inflammation, gut health. I've used all these words ad nauseum to myself. Therefore, I can't imagine my audience doesn't know about it. Does anyone feel this way? Like just shake, nod of head. Okay. This is the way that you reinvigorate yourself and your audience to taking another look at plexus. I have people who I've been friends with at least for, what year is Ella in? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, that are just now like, okay, I'm in on this 25 hard thing. Not because they haven't seen me talk about every single aspect of our product line, but it felt like this was something they would want to do and they were willing to add Plexus products in their routine to do it as well. So I really want to encourage you, if you are not talking about this daily, you are doing your business and your audience a disservice. I really just think this is the way. I mean, do y'all remember when we pretended, I still have used body cream in our hair as like a hair serum? Like it actually like made your hair softer. I don't know why it worked, but it actually did work. And we used body cream or protein, using the protein powder as protein bowls instead of just as a drink, right? Like, or adding it to your pancakes and I mean, we add it to our waffles every single time. My sister has me adding protein powder to a Dutch baby with 6 eggs and all these things on a daily basis with my family. There are different ways that we have learned over the years to like talk about our products, re-excite our products, re-excite ourselves. If you can re-excite yourself about 25 hard, it will change your business. If you can get as excited the next 3 weeks about 25 hard as you've ever been about triplex or um, Joyome or any of those things, I think it will actually change how you view your own business and your. So Sarah, yeah, Sarah, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to share because this is a struggle. A can attest to this. I have a lot of self-talk that I have with myself often. And something that I've learned through a book that I'm listening to, specifically listening, not reading, is Mel Robbins just launched Let Them. And it has really shifted a lot of my thoughts. And so I just want to encourage you, if you are thinking to yourself, oh, they've heard this, let them. Let them see it. Let them think what they want to think. We aren't responsible for what grown adults, what their thought process is. We're not responsible for the way that they respond. We're not responsible for them. What we're responsible for is ourselves. And so part of the let them theory is also the let me theory. So let them think what they want, but let me, what action can I take? And I think I mean, I've been doing this over 11 years now, and I think it's easy to say, oh, they've all seen it, or I've had this conversation 1,000 times with Andrea. I can share all my breast cancer stuff, like post after post, and people are cheering me on and seeing. The minute I start posting about Plexus, it's like everyone goes into the witness protection program, and nobody is available for any conversations or even to even look at my stuff anymore. Let them. Let them do that. The question is, are you showing up for yourself in your own business and for the one person who might see it? Because that's what we're trying to do, right? Show up for the one person that might see it. And it's a shift for myself, which Andrew's probably like, finally, she's listening to this conversation with herself after years of it. But that, if you haven't, and that is a space that you struggle with, I would encourage you to listen to this book. It is so good. And you can use it in every aspect of your life. But this specifically, I was thinking as Andrea was saying that, I was like, yeah, we're so worried what other people are thinking or what they're going to say. And oftentimes, they're probably actually not even thinking those things. We've just told ourselves a story that they're thinking it, or that they're annoyed by it, or that somebody's mad at us because they're not responding back to us, or they just must not want the product. When in reality, I've had something in my shopping cart for something else for, I'm not even exaggerating, over 3 months. And I keep meaning to go do it. And I got an email this morning sitting at the doctor's office, and I was like, I shouldn't just do it. And so I think sometimes we just tell ourselves a story when the reality is it's probably not that. And it's probably just something you're telling yourselves, which is freezing you from moving forward in all your other actions. Because once you've accepted the story that somebody, just one person, the one person that you're talking to isn't interested, cool, let them not be interested. Let them not be interested. But let somebody else be interested. And let yourself continue to move the needle forward so that you can find the person who is. So the let them is let them do their thing, whatever that is. Let people think what they want. But then the opposite is let you do the things that you know you need to do in order to move your business forward until you find the one that says, let them order or let them join in on this. And you can invite people to this, but you also can't make them do it. They can be in 25 hard. You have to let them have that responsibility. So I just wanted to share that because it was a shift for me the last few days and thought I'd share it here.
Yeah, I just think if you can challenge yourself to get as excited in 2025 as you've ever been about Plexus, that is really going to be your shift. So I'd be interested to know, like, what was like, if can anybody remember like the most exciting point in Plexus for you? Like, this was when it was like super fun. You couldn't have shut me up about it if you had tried. Anybody could have messaged you and been like, it's just like every other probiotic on the, and you're like, there's no way, it's the best probiotic in the world. Oh, I can't believe you're doing a network marketing company. You have no idea what the potential is here. You're not watching everybody make $500 a month, making $1,000 a month. Moms of littles going on trips that they would never have gone on before. By the way, I just want to say something about trips. The cruise is coming up next month. If you did not earn it, it's perfectly fine. I did not go on either one of the Leaders Retreat trips last year for myriad of reasons, but I also didn't go to Hawaii this year. And then I missed out on New York when I was supposed to go to New York. And I just want to tell you, I need this cruise more than I've ever needed a trip, I think, in the 11 years I've been doing Plexus. And so maybe it's not the cruise for you next month, but maybe it is something for somebody else. Like, y'all, I've gone on a million trips over the last 11 years, right? We've gone to so many fun places, but I've never needed a trip like I need one this next month. And I just want to encourage you to not stop sharing the trips and the fun things just because you haven't gone on them, or just because you can't go on them, or because this wasn't the season where you earned the cruise. Share it for that somebody else is going. If you can share everybody else's, oh, I'm so excited. My friend Angie's going on a cruise. I cannot wait to watch her go on it. Oh, I'm so excited to watch my friend Becky, at the shopping spree. I've never gotten to watch someone do a shopping spree before. This will be so much fun. If you invite your audience in, then they have a little bit of buy-in on what is happening around. So I just want to encourage you that, even if you're not going to be in Florida with everybody else, I promise you, you will see me sharing pictures from everybody at Super Saturday in Florida, because I want my audience to see not just what I'm doing, but what's happening in our company in a million different places. So also make sure that you are sharing those pictures, whether you are alone with you and your dog watching Super Saturday on your laptop, or it's you and 3 people in a blizzard, whatever it is. Make sure you're sharing those pictures, because those matter. I shared one picture of myself at Super Saturday by myself in 2014, and Rachel Neagle was like, oh wait, you're serious about this business, like, let's talk. And then I was like, oh good, I'm gonna make Becky do it with me too. And so I just think it's really important that you are showing up in your business. Okay. So that's 25 hard. I feel like we're in it. I feel like we know about it. You'll see so many people sharing in there. I shared the other day about the protein. I shared one screenshot of all the screenshots that were going out about protein on my story. You can grab the stuff that you're learning in 25 hard and learn it out loud in your social media. And people will be like, oh, wait, where'd you get that from? And it's like, well, it's actually in this group. I'd love to add you. I don't care if we're on day 24, if someone's asking questions and you can start pointing them back to 25 hard, it just gets them, it shows them what is happening over there. I mean, I don't know if y'all have seen, but there's 500, 800 comments on posts over in 25 hard. It is the most active group I've ever been in. And that's a lot of fun. It's so much more fun when we're all doing it like that. Okay. Speaking of January, speaking of getting all of your people in and going and having conversations, convention contest has already started. Hello, we are going to talk about it more on Saturday. There is going to be a repetition. You are going to hear about the same things over and over and over again, but convention contest started on January 1st. And it is retro. They'll announce all of it at Super Saturday, and it'll be retroactive to January 1st. But just so you know, it's January 6th, and everybody that you are personally adding counts for double convention credits. Double convention credits. And I don't know about you, but getting that $400 travel credit would be really, really nice to pay for the travel, not for me to Dallas, because I take 20-minute drive down the street, but for hotel. So I can actually stay in a hotel and not feel guilty about it instead of staying at home, which is what I did the first time we had convention in Dallas. I wanted to challenge you. I think there's a big thing at House of Blues where they're going to do like all the different rooms. House of Blues has like six or seven different venues inside the building, and every room is going to be a different music venue. It's going to be like country in one, and I don't know, I'm just making it up, like yacht rock in one and hip hop in the other. I have no idea what's going on, but it's gonna be different musical acts happening in like different genres, like going on in different. That's winner's dinner. That's like the fun winner's dinner is actually going to be at House of Blues, and everyone kind of like roaming around a big venue. That's amazing. There's going to be the ultimate prize is that you get to, I don't remember where we're doing it now, I forget, but you get to come pick a hat, a cowboy hat, or boots, or something else, and like have them custom made. So like that's like the ultimate prize is like you get like a custom cowboy hat. I think it's boots. Oh, jewelry. Is that the third one, Christy? Nice. And so I have no idea what that looks like. I not know the details. I just know that there are some fun things that one are going to look incredible on social media for your audience to see. Two are just things you would probably never do for yourself. You'd probably like, I'm out of concert season world. So going to a venue with 8 different concerts sounds a little exhausting, but with, a couple of hundred of my favorite people, not quite as exhausting somehow. And then anytime that they're going to gift me things that are custom, I am all in on custom anything. It just feels special. It feels like it's yours. Nobody else has it. So I just want to challenge you. Every single one of you listening to this has access to every single prize because it is double credit month right now. If you are new and this is the first time that you're kind of doing a contest or you're kind of just getting into Plexus, I want to tell you that you have the freshest audience. You have the audience that has not heard about Triplex for 11 years. You have the audience that you have not had to try to explain, 4 different ways to use body cream. There are so many amazing products that we have that if you are sharing them, if I was brand new and tell me if this is, I'm looking at all of y'all that 2014, 2015, if you had a 25 hard back then that you could have dropped every single one of your friends into that were like, what is Plexus? Can you tell me more? I kind of want to do this, or I've heard people talking about it. What is it? And you could drop all of them into 25 hard. I would have had probably no less than 50 to 75 personal people in 25 hard. If you are new, if you are fresh, if this is kind of like you haven't just exhausted your warm market, 25 hard is the way that you are actually going to explode the beginning part of your year. It's how you're going to dominate the convention contest early is by getting as many people, because when you add people, you get credit. When you retain people, which there will be a retention element of 25 hard going into February, then when you retain people, you get credits. When people, your friend, Sarah, signs up for 25 hard and just gets her slim and her meta burn last month and her free reset, and then she does her free reset this month and she shares about it because she wants prizes, right? Then Sarah's friend Angie goes, wait, what are you doing? You decided to do a weight loss thing and you didn't tell me you were doing it. I went in, girl. And then all of a sudden her friend Angie's like in 25 hard. Now Sarah has added her one, which is going to be the biggest thing we're going to talk about at Super Saturday, is every single person on your team having one accountability partner that is taking the products alongside them. So now Sarah has her one. She has Angie, but she's so excited about Angie that she's like, if I can get Angie, I can get Christy and Becky too. I think I can get 2 more friends. Now Sarah has not only gone silver, she's added people. You've got convention contest credits for retention. You have convention contest credits for having a level 1. You have level 2 convention contest credits, and you are just doing that. But imagine if you did it with your entire audience. Imagine if you did the let them theory and you said, I'm going to go loud, proud, and bold about all of this. And I'm going to let them decide if it's for them. I'm going to let them decide if they want to share it too. I'm going to let them decide if they're going to invite their friend Angie and Becky and Christy in. And then I'm going to let them decide if they want to go senior silver after that. You're going to let them have those choices, but you are going to be the catalyst and the driving force for all of it. So yeah, congratulations, Sarah. So I really want to challenge you that convention contest and 25 hard, like they mirror each other. It is not one or the other. It is because of one, because of 25 hard, convention credits are going to be that much easier for you to grab this month. I just think convention contest is so fun. And what's really fun is that we're all going to come back to Dallas in June when it's not snowing and it might be 100 degrees, but that's neither here nor there. And we're all going to be downtown at the convention center. You can stay at any of the thousands of hotels, I think, that are like within, a 1 mile radius of downtown, whatever, fits your fancy on hotel stays. The Omni being the closest. And the House of Blues is right there. So many fun things to do in Dallas. So I want you to make sure convention is on your calendar for, oh man, I don't have the dates on here. But you know what? Tina Marie's going to drop them. No, she's not, because she's not on here anymore. Someone is going to drop them in the chat. Okay, Beck's going to grab them. It's in June. That's all I can tell you from this vantage point. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about Grow One. So every single person on here is going to do it first, because you cannot teach it, train it, and push someone else to do it if you are not doing it yourself. So I want to challenge you this month of January, before Super Saturday, so before Thursday, Friday, get one person to come up alongside you. Get one person that's like straggling at the end, like, limbs laying off, like barely survived Christmas and New Year's. And if you're in Kansas, the blizzard, that your kids are still home, they're not going back to school. And there's a really good chance in Texas that our kids will now have a snow day at the end of the week. So those are your friends that are like struggling right now. And you're like, girl, just hold her little cheeks and say, do 25 hard with me. You can do it. This is like, I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to send you a cart of exactly what you need. Don't you worry your pretty little head. Like, who all has one friend that you're like, that girl been putting me off forever, and she just is always too busy. She's the Sarah with the thing in the cart that's like, okay, fine, I'm sitting at the dentist's office. I'm finally doing it right now. Your friend is sitting somewhere right now and going, oh, thank you for finally pressing me to just get this done. So before Thursday, before Super Saturday, so before Saturday, but Thursday if you're traveling, I want to challenge you to get one person in, because when you get your one, then kind of the pressure's off, and all you're doing at that point is helping every single other person on your team get their one. So then from Saturday forward, you've got all of this help, all of these calls, all this stuff happening to help them get their one, but your one is off your plate. Does that feel good to kind of have that off your plate? And then all you have to do, I'm just telling you, when you get to the end of the month and you're like, oh wait, I haven't gotten my person and I haven't helped anybody on my team get their people, it's a little stressful. So get yours first, put your oxygen mask on first, and then help everybody else. Anybody else love to put oxygen masks on everybody else and then you're like last, but you're like passed out then? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to challenge you. I'm taking a screenshot right now of all the names that are on here. There we go. And now I know who all to message and be like, do you have your one by Saturday? Okay. If you already have your one, drop it in the chat. If you've already added one VIP, Angie, of course. As soon as I saw that smile, I was like, oh, I bet she already has her one. Like, it feels good. Sarah Byers, first one. Okay, Wesley has hers. Beck's working on it. So it'll feel so good to have it done, because what's going to happen is Super Saturday is going to come, and y'all are going to find out that corporate is actually going to be leading, instead of doing the Sunday night calls that Melissa Eichenhorst was actually running, and the Thursday night calls, which Jen Hawkins and her downline of Diamonds have been running, that Real People, Real Stories call. Corporate is actually going to do calls. They're going to tell you all about it at Super Saturday. But the good thing is we're all going to be doing it together. So much like 25 Hard feels better because we're actually all doing this together, that's how the corporate calls are going to feel. We're all going to be listening to them together as leaders. You need to put them on your calendar and like block out time. Like, they're going to be short and sweet, but you need to know what's happening on them. You at least need to listen to the first few, so that when you invite people to them, you can honestly, from your own perspective, tell them what the call is about. So it's a Monday night call. It's a Thursday night call. The Monday night is going to be, what is Plexus? And then they're going to be invited to stay on and find out about the compensation plan. That's Monday night. On Thursday night, it is going to be a little bit more about products. And then the third Saturday of the month, there is going to be a wellness, and I want to say they're calling it a masterclass, but I'm not sure exactly what, but it's a different product every month. And we're going to gear everything that we do for the month around whatever the wellness product is that's going to be highlighted on that Saturday. So instead of book club, essentially, it's going to be a wellness event. So corporate's going to talk about that at Super Saturday. You really don't want to miss Super Saturday, not because of like big, like monumental firework announcements, because it's actually you're going to hear from field leaders who are developing these systems for corporate to use for the entire company. So when you, Rhonda, add your one this week, then Saturday, you're going to listen to Super Saturday, and you already know this is happening. But then on Monday, you're going to have already invited your one to that Monday night call so they can listen in. You're going to be listening in, and then your one hopefully is going to invite someone to the Thursday night call. And that person's going to be like, oh, that's a really great product. And then those two people are going to invite someone to the following Monday. Do y'all see how this is going to just keep going, that you just keep inviting people, but you're plugging them into a system that already works? There's a really exciting announcement around the Monday night call, and I'm actually going to let y'all find out about it at Super Saturday, because it gives you even more leverage to invite them to it, but then feel like you and corporate are working together to actually get them in, like, working their business. So, okay, I have covered convention contest, 25 Hard, growing and helping your one, and then Super Saturday we have talked a lot about. I want to open it up for the last few minutes of any questions, comments, thoughts that you have going into this year. And I would even say concerns, like what thoughts are you having that's kind of stopping you from moving forward? So I'm going to mute, and I'm going to let you unmute.
Okay, I have a question. I have a good amount of ladies in 25 Hard, which is exciting. There's 13 plus 14 of us. And I decided to do a little mini chat, like a messenger chat, because anytime I did that with resets, it was a lot of community and we connect that way like that. But for whatever reason, it's been crickets. And it's like, I'm the awkward person, like, and I even said, hey, I don't want to be the only one talking, like, let's communicate, blah, blah, blah. So today I kind of like individually, because there's two of us doing the reset, because everyone else is waiting. I was like, okay, anyways, what are some suggestions to help? I've never had people not talk back, so it's a little awkward.
Well, I always have people not talk back. I think you have to take the fact that it's awkward out. You have to tell yourself it's not awkward. I'm just using it as an informational chat. I'm using it as a place for them to drop. And maybe as soon as someone feels comfortable, they'll ask a question in there. I would encourage you to find one person in there that's actually a chatty person and be like, girl, just talk to me like it's just you and me in that chat. And then someone else will jump in. Stephanie and I are in a chat with a couple of other girls, and I think there's like 3 of us out of like maybe 15 in that chat that talk, right, Stephanie? Like that Diamond Darlings chat that we are, whatever it's called, December Darlings. I bet she doesn't even know how many people are in that chat because there's 3 of us that talk. But it's okay. I will drop little like, oh, I just made this post, y'all should make this post, or here's really good verbiage, or sometimes I'll pull something out of Rally Chat and put it in there. I will share the thing from 25 Hard. I'll share it into that chat and be like, make sure that y'all have commented on this so that you don't miss out on the prize. Or, oh my gosh, this prize today is so cute. Has anyone else ever wanted yesterday it was the quilted bag that looks like the Free People bag. Has anybody else ever wanted this or what? Like, ask questions. Y'all know me and my love of asking questions, like, and then be okay if they don't answer. Like, you get to actually manage whether it's awkward or not. So if you're like, it's not awkward, it's just like, I'm just dropping stuff in there, and someday someone will ask a question. And I would say if you have one chattier person that's just normal chatty, or if they one-off you a question, I always do this. If someone one-offs me a question, like if Stephanie was to message me right now and be like, hey, you posted about this, can I do this? I'd be like, go ask that in the chat so everyone gets to learn. So I'll respond to you in there, but that way I bet someone else has the same question that you're wondering, and that way you go ask it in there, and then I'll respond, and then it at least looks like, oh, other people are asking questions. If they're all asking you separately, then that's why the chat's not happening. So just some ideas. But yeah, I would just say don't worry about if it's awkward or not. P.S. If y'all haven't heated up lemon lime hydrate and drink it like a lemon water, it's delightful warm. I'm sitting here like just loving the warmness of my coffee, or my cup. I don't drink coffee, but lemon lime hydrate is delightful hot. Little tip today. There you go.
I have a quick question. So, I have feeling like I'm having like some big vision for growth in a different way. And just with the power of one and creating senior silvers, I've never had like this thought before, but it's more like, I mean, I've been sharing the business, been sharing the products, incredible, at recruiting. Recruiting's no issue, but seeing it more as sharing the business and duplication, like creating legacy leaders. And it was like an aha, like, why am I not showing people just how to make senior silvers over and over and over again, or grab 4 people to create senior silvers and like explosive growth? But I feel like it's almost too big. And I'm like, what? How do I take a step in this? And I'm trying to think like, should I do a call that talks about the power of one and then the duplication thing for people that are sharing or that aren't even on the products anymore? I like see like my close friends like grabbing them like, this business is incredible. Like, I need you to jump in with me. But I've never done this before, and so I'm kind of like, what do I do?
When you say this, what do you envision this being? Like, you envision just like have you written it out? Like, I would journal it. I would almost brain dump it all, because I struggle when I have big vision. You can ask Becky or Sarah, anybody else. If I have big vision, I struggle to actually communicate that vision because I haven't actually fleshed it out myself. I'm just like, okay, I have this thought. What if we do this? And Becky's like, well, could you like 4 steps ahead of where you just were? Like, let's start there. And then kind of going forward. And sometimes when you write it out and flesh it out, you're like, oh, and then, okay, then this, and you kind of arrow up to the top and you're like, oh, this, and then you arrow up to the top again and you're like, back it up just a little bit more. I would encourage you for you to have it completely fleshed out, at least pretty good outlined of like, this is what I want. These are the names that I want in here. This is what I want for each one of these people. This is why it looks like this. This is the benefit to them of doing this. And I think the more that you can actually flesh it out, then yes, do a call for sure. And then do it every week. Like, call it like your big vision call, and you do it every single Tuesday after the Monday night call, or you do it on Wednesday before the Thursday night call, or something like that, where you're like, I want to keep casting vision in these people, and I want to keep fleshing it out, like just little at a time. So I would say Masterclass for us was like big vision broken down into weekly, like, I mean, look at what we did last quarter with goals. It was like, we should be able to talk about it, but we can't have one call where we talk about it and it just hits everybody. We have to do it every single Monday, a little at a time, over a quarter, and we really cast the vision. We were going gold for an entire 4 months, and now corporate's going back to 1. But whatever, it's fine, right? It's fine. We talked about it, and I just think that flushing it out for yourself helps. Okay, Becky, you talk from the other.
Oh, I was just going to add to what Andrea is saying. I mean, yes. And Sarah, maybe you grab, 2 people and you do a call with them and you go, here's kind of like, can I brain dump with you? Here's kind of what I'm thinking. Will you host the call with me? One thing Andrea and I have learned a lot, especially in the past 2 years, is we can cook up a great vision and then we can present it to people. And then we're like, oh man, they're not running with it. And it's because they didn't own it. Like, we owned it and we gave it to them. But everybody on this call knows that if it's something you own, like, y'all own your chats with your people in 25 Hard, you're responsible for them. If you're responsible for it, and you invite other people to be responsible for it with you, that's where momentum happens. It feels great to come up with a great idea, but if you can pass the idea along to someone else and help it also become their idea, that's where you get momentum. So I'd say chase your excitement and your energy. If you're excited and feeling energetic about it, then how can you give that to someone else so that they can also spearhead it with you? Also, many hands make light work. And, that's for when your energy and excitement subsides right about January 25th, then you've still got other people who are carrying the vision with you. And that way it doesn't just kind of seep away from you. That's just my quick thought.
Yeah, let the vision grow into something that you're not expecting it to be too. So a lot of times I'll bring an idea to somebody and they're like, okay, but then what if you did this? And you're like, yes, I never even thought about doing it like that. Well, what if you thought about it? What if you actually presented it like this? Or it is so good to take ideas to people who think differently than you and that or have different strengths than you do. And then all of a sudden they say something and you're like, I would have never had that. I would never considered it that way. Or like, I need Melissa Eichenhorst to, like, if she gets excited about something I'm excited about, then I get like 10 times more excited. And she starts casting vision into me about my own vision. And then all of a sudden I've got a bigger vision than I even started with. So I just think the more like people that you can kind of bounce it off of. But I do think one of the things I want to get better at is flushing out vision before I take it to people, because then I have a really good idea of what I'm actually telling them. Not just, you ever tried to tell someone a dream that you have, like an actual dream, like last night I had a dream about this, and then all of a sudden you're like, I have it all in my head. I can see it. I can like feel the feelings I had in that dream, but I actually can't communicate to you anything that makes any sense about what happened. Like, to go from this scene to this scene to this thing, and then this person was in it, and it doesn't make sense when I'm telling it to you, but it totally made sense in the dream that it was happening. Sometimes that's how vision can be, where you have a great vision for your team, but then you start to explain it to them and you're like, okay, it makes so much more sense in my head than when I try to explain it. So the more you can flesh it out, the better you can actually explain it when you're having those conversations. Okay, great. Okay, last one. Who has one thing that they need to like flesh out, talk about, a question answered before we dive into Super Saturday week?
Okay, so to elaborate more on what you're saying, fleshing out the vision. Okay, write it all out, but what are you asking yourself as you're writing it out to help you get more clear?
You're asking me that, or you're asking Sarah?
Anybody, because I want to have more clarity on being able to do that. Because I recognize what you're saying, because that's what I feel like. I have this thing in me and I feel it, but it's to put into words. It's harder. It's like to really like to be able to break it down into goal steps to get to that vision. That is where I'm stuck at. I know the vision. I'm trying to figure out how to do the steps to get there.
This is what I do every single time I have a vision or a plan or whatever. is, and y'all, this will go for this week for Super Saturday. It'll go for 25 hard. It will go for everything. Who, what, when, where, how. And I know that sounds so basic, but like, who are you trying to talk to? Who are you trying to bring into the business? Who are you trying to grow? Like, start with your who's, and then who, what is it that you want for them? And you might have a different what question than what I have, right? Who, what, when are we going to meet? When are we going to talk about this? Where are we going to do this in a chat? Are we going to do it in a group? Are we ever going to be face to face? Are we going to get like at the end is like the culmination, like convention? We're going to like all go to dinner together. Like who, what, when, where, why is a big one. And you're probably going to ask yourself a lot of why questions. And then how is it actually going to flush out? And so I really, y'all, if y'all saw how many notebooks I have where it's who, what, when, where, why, how, it's like, because it's basic questions, but it gives yourself categories to kind of like go, oh, okay, who am I actually, like, we'll do it real fast. Who am I actually inviting to 25 hard? Every single person that I've ever had in my little thing here, like every name that's in this stupid thing I've had for 11 years, needs to be invited. Who, what, what are they, am I inviting them to 25 hard? Do I have it written out? Do I know exactly what I'm sending them? Like, what is it when they ask? Where are they going to find the information? When are we going to talk? And, is it in a chat? How am I going to get them like engaged? Like all of that stuff. But the bigger thing is going to be like, how do I get each one of these people in 25 hard? The 5 names that you wrote down that are in, how are you going to get them to all add one? So go back through your questions again. Who am I getting? Christy, what do I want for her? I want her to add one. How is she going to do it? She's got to share about 25 hard too. So I just think that the more questions that you're willing to ask about it, give yourself permission to ask and to deviate from what you thought it was going to be. Like it might look different when you start asking yourself questions. I hope that helps. And I really like it at the end of Super Saturday, y'all, when you have people on your mind and you have a who, ask yourself all those questions about them and their customer experience and their business experience and figure out, you might have a few people that you're like, okay, it's time to do business with them. So, okay, it's 101 Super Saturday week. We will talk to y'all later. See y'all.